Big Meadow Campground was a little crowded for us, so we ended up getting our showers and getting the heck out of there. And even here in one of the waysides, there's less traffic than there is in the campground, so this worked out really cool. It's completely shaded in. We've got a great view, and this is a good place to hang out in the shade, make some breakfast, and enjoy a little bit of the Skyline Drive overlook. Well, short of our breakfast stop overlook, this is actually another one of the better. Several of these overlooks are pretty heavily grown in, and the majority of them facing out eastward right now are there's just no shady spots in them. They're out in the wide open and, man, just burning hot. But so far today, there's only been a couple of really nice little overlooks. That is Loft Mountain. We saw it from a distance back there. And from back there, I was actually still guessing, but now I'm certain of it. There is a clearing up there. And I was told that there are some campsites up on the Loft Mountain campground that have views. So I guess we'll see. It just surprises me with this much area, so open, so many ridge lines, that getting a signal up here is tough. We're getting a bit of a signal on the iPad. The iPad's the newest we have, but it doesn't hold. It is pretty wild. Yeah, I wish I could pick the road out for you here, but I think it's up over here where we came through. In fact, I can start to see a building right up in there, so I think that's probably where we came through. I'm not so sure we came across any of this. We might have down in here. But what a cute place. Yeah, we were just looking at some of these dead stands. I don't see burn marks on it, but and then again, if it was a burn, you would think there'd be more. I don't know, it's weird, it's hard to tell. Maybe it was disease. But anyway, this is 2 Mile something overlook. I forget the complete name of it, sorry. Very neat area. You're not getting quite the distance, so we're not getting quite the haze, which is kind of cool. So that makes this unique for the overlooks. Because the most of them you get a huge distance, so you can see way out in the off out there, where it's still very, very blue and hazed. But 2 Mile Overlook?
Yep.
Huh.
2 Mile Run Overlook.
Oh, 2 Mile Run Overlook. But I like the rock outcroppings here. This has been a little bit different, and that looks pretty cool out in there. I don't know how close we'll get to this. So far we're like banking to the left, so I don't know how close to that we'll get. This is an easterly overlook. We didn't get quite as many of these on this section, and the ones we did get were pretty much wide open in the sun. This little spot right here worked out nice. That is a shady spot to where we can hang out. We talked with the ranger in the last one we were in, and he was telling us that they actually are in a little bit of a hot spot right now. He says this is a little unusual, and it's usually about 10 degrees cooler up around here. But neat little area, good information from the guy. This is Loft Mountain Campground. We are on the end of the A loop. which is the first come, first served loop, and it kind of encompasses all the way out on the perimeter of it. So it's a pretty good little spot. I ended up picking this end lot. Has some of the better trees out in a little more of open area versus being treed up like up above here. Most of these campgrounds or sites are about the same going around, but this is like the first one we stayed in, Matthew's Arm, that there's not as many people at. So as you can see right here, there's absolutely nobody in the walk-in tenting spot. But it's also wide open, there's not much shade. And there's up above there is another walk-in tenting spot. So this is a pretty good little spot that we got into. So we probably will have this whole area to ourselves, which will be quite nice compared to last night up in Big Meadow. Big Meadow was just wicked busy. So we're hoping that stays this way. Anyway, I like this spot. Basics. Does have flush toilets, which is kind of neat, and does have showers here. So I'm surprised it's not that busy. But I mean, and it does have a camp stove store, which is pretty nice. But no power. Actually have not even spotted the water spigot yet, but I guess that's probably up at the bathhouses like all the other ones have been. This is the beginning of day 4 up on the Skyline Drive. We are going to come off the Skyline Drive today and we'll get on to Blue Ridge Parkway. The Blue Ridge Parkway is supposed to be a lot longer, about 3 times as long as Skyline is. But this is our first overlook of the morning, and looks pretty clean. I like it. Found our breakfast overlook for this morning. This has been working out pretty good, as long as we can find a spot that has decent shade, and this one has decent shade. So this worked out good. Last night's stop at Loft Mountain was probably one of the better campsites. I liked it, not near as much traffic, good and quiet at night. The only downside to that one is the gnats, so be prepared for that.